my neighborhood had just appeared a massive hotel. It looked very luxurious. When the hotel was built, it was inevitable that people would talk about it. The hotel used to be an old apartment building. It was the most famous building in my neighborhood for being haunted. When the apartment building was still in operation, people living here all heard the cry of a woman lying on the top floor of the building. The crying was very loud, making many people in the building uncomfortable because they could not sleep. The crying kept echoing no matter how much the neighbors reminded the building management. This situation did not decrease. The problem continued until the people living in the building could not bear it anymore and chose to solve it themselves. Until one day, the people in the building couldn't stand the crying. They decided to come together to remind the owner to check and see what was happening. The men who lived in the building at the time followed the cry together, going upstairs to check it out. Later, they located the room where the crying was coming from, but the door had long been locked from the outside. Outside of the door was also a closed thick layer of dust. So a neighbor in the next room opened the door to let the men go into the mysterious room through the connecting corridor between the two rooms. Once outside, the men also felt a little strange that the glass door looked very dusty, as if no one had been there in a long time. A brave person took the initiative to go to the front, look into the window to try to break the door to enter the house. But unexpectedly inside the room were no people except for a girl's soul which appeared. Hearing the noise, the girl immediately turned her face to the window, revealing a white horrible face with white eyes that were bleeding red blood instead of tears. The girl's ghost found out about the strangers, suddenly became aggressive and wanted to fly out to chase away the men who were looking at her. The man just witnessed the horror scene, feeling extremely panicked and unable to bear it. He ran as fast as he could to his room. From that day on, that cry grew louder and louder. It echoed throughout the corridors of each room. Many people also saw the girl's ghost in the abandoned room. It was wearing a red dress. That ghost was crying and hovering in the corridor all along. The residents in the building could not stand this. One after another moved their houses to another place. Rumors of the ghost in the building were getting louder and louder. No one dared to come to this building anymore. After all of the residents had moved out, only the elderly couple remained in the building. The couple reluctantly stayed in the building because they had nowhere else to live. But every night the elderly couple received strange phone calls from whom they didn't know. At first they thought that someone was trying to break up the couple, but this lasted so long that the couple panicked. Every time the wife picked up the phone, there was no one on the other end of the line but only a cry, like the cry of the dead girl's soul. After that, the power lines in the building were also frequently broken. Every time that strange phone call came in, the electricity in the building would be completely turned off. The TV in the room was also interfered with, making the elderly couple gradually feel afraid and couldn't stand it anymore. Finally, the older couple also moved to another place. The building was inactive and has been abandoned ever since. Since the day the building was abandoned, no one dared to come near the building but the homeless who needed a place to stay. But so far, no one dared to stay there for a full night, because people would hear the screams of homeless people sleeping in the middle of the night. The whole building was immersed in the dark, scary, silent, attracting the attention of curious people. Many people in the neighborhood every night went passing by the building, and they saw the spirit of a girl standing outside the window with white eyes. Young people, because they were so curious about the ghostly rumors surrounding the building, they did not hesitate to come and explore. They went in as a group, exploring every nook and cranny of the house with its ruins. The air inside the building was colder than many people thought. Leaves and trash were scattered all over the corridor. They entered the room that was said to be haunted, and around there was nothing else besides the old items. A moment later, the young people immediately shouted in panic when they discovered something extremely horrifying. In front of them, there was a red cloth. It was similar to the rumor about the girl in the red dress that was often mentioned. "There's nothing here, so it's just a rumor," said one young man. After checking, they did not find anything strange, so the group thought that the rumors about the girl's ghost was not true. From that moment on, the whole room had strange cold winds, causing the people in the room to feel a little scared. But because they did not believe the rumors, the group decided to continue to the other rooms to check. They entered a room at the end of the corridor. The size of the room here was also somewhat smaller than the other rooms. The interior did not have much furniture like the other rooms, and there was only one chair in the middle of the room. The young people also discovered many broken trees and a lot of small rocks lying around the chair on the floor. Everyone in the group started to get scared and discuss what had happened here. The only thing that interested them the most was the stool in the middle of the room. Many people began to question the origin of the other girl's soul. But no matter how much that were discussed, all the reasons given were too reasonable and irrational, making things even more stressful. A moment later, from within the wall appeared a girl with a red dress rushing towards a group of young people. The group started to panic, scream, and started to run, but the girl in the red dress kept chasing them down. The group quickly ran out of the building and made the ghostly rumors about this building become even more noticeable. The press and media also began to cover the building with questions raised about the mysteries there. The building then became more famous and noticed by many people. There were many people who did not hesitate to stay there overnight to verify the rumors. But not long after that, the whole building was sealed and a high-class hotel was built there. Strangely, after that, the hotel did well and did not appear to have any strange events.